Is in the room, yes. Good afternoon, colleagues. We would like to continue with the afternoon session. If we can all please settle down. So, as you can see on screen, we have this draft decision from agenda item 5. There was some discussion on this and apparently some consultations over lunch. So let's start with that to continue the momentum. Is there any delegation that would like to report any progress on this? Yes, Russian Federation.
А у нас перевод-то есть? Я, с вашего позволения, воспользуюсь переводом. А есть у нас перевод? Переводчики, подтвердите, что перевод есть. Ага, окей. Уважаемый господин председатель, конечно, я не могу взять на себя столь ответственную роль, как доложить вам, to report. Но, по крайней мере, со своей стороны, от имени моей делегации, я могу вам сообщить следующее. Исходя из того обмена мнениями, который состоялся между заинтересованными делегациями, наша делегация будет удовлетворена следующей формулировкой. The Committee on Trade, Investment, Enterprise and Business Innovation notes the challenges in development, transfer, adaptation, and application of technologies, and notes the progress made, and it is actually there in the text, and notes the progress made by the Secretariat in promoting enterprise and business innovation for inclusive, and then the text remains as is now on the screen up to the end. Еще раз повторяю, для нас вполне приемлем вариант, который основан на предложении нашей коллеги из делегации Великобритании. И текст, как я еще раз подчеркиваю, вот он правильно выделен сейчас секретариатом. The Committee on Trade, the committee notes the challenges in development, etc., and progress made by the Secretariat. Благодарю вас.
Thank you. Appreciated. Can we take out the bracketed text at the end? Challenges in promoting non-discriminatory use of technologies and etc. Thank you. I see you nodding. Please take that out. Yes. Any other thoughts? Is Indonesia in the room? Was the Indonesian delegation privy to the informal consultations? I see indication otherwise. Any other delegation? Yes, Indonesia, please. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I think for Indonesia, we would probably prefer the mention of the challenges is only not just finger pointing in terms of transfer, adaptation, and application of technology. As I mentioned before during the last session before lunch, I think our delegation itself, Indonesia, also point out that there are several improvements needed in terms of other issues as well. I think our delegation mentioned about the need of improvement in terms of expanding small businesses and those kind of things. That's the reason that we actually adding including. I think for Indonesia itself, we are okay with highlighting one of the challenges, but I don't think we want to emphasize that the challenges is only on that matter itself.
Thank you, Indonesia. I guess the message is clear. Do you have any textual suggestions on how we can accommodate your concern?
Yes, Chair. I think the addition of including is probably is the best for our preference.
There was a Latin word that we used yesterday, inter alia or something. I don't know if the challenges including on development, yeah, that can also work. Would that work, this formulation work? The challenges including on development, challenges including for development, transfer, and adaptation and application of technologies. And notes the progress made by this secretariat. We'll come to that later. Indonesia? Good, thank you. So we take out that first bit. Yes, Russian Federation.
Спасибо, господин председатель. Я бы предложил несколько иную формулировку, пытаясь учесть то, что говорит представитель делегации Индонезии. Если вы попросите секретариат вернуть текст, спасибо. Таким образом, я, по крайней мере, со стороны нашей делегации, не personally, со стороны нашей делегации хотел бы сказать следующее. Текст мог бы выглядеть следующим образом. The Committee on Trade, Investment, Enterprise and Business Innovation notes the challenges. You don't need actually to type it down again. I'm working on the language as proposed by the delegation of Indonesia. Just listen to what I'm trying to say. Notes the challenges in promoting. So I suggest to delete the progress and. Tentatively you may delete it actually for the convenience of the delegations. So the challenges in promoting enterprise and business innovation for inclusive and sustainable development. In promoting enterprise and business innovation for inclusive and sustainable development.
Russian Federation, can you please read out the whole text as you would like to suggest?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's what I'm trying to do.
Let's hear you out, then we will put it on screen.
Yeah. The Committee on Trade and Investment, Enterprise and Business Innovation notes challenges in promoting enterprise and business innovation for inclusive and sustainable development, notably on development, transfer, adaptation, and application of technologies, and notes the progress made by the Secretariat, and then the text continues.
Clear. Thank you. Yes, so we have to put the word, notably, perhaps somewhere. notably the, notably the, notably the, including should be outside the bracket actually. And can be struck through. Including on could be struck through as. Thank you. So, challenges in promoting enterprise, etc., notably the development. And then notes the progress. So, we can maybe take out this bit, last bit, but let's hear from other colleagues. Any views? Japan?
So we actually do have issues with the word notably because that assigns a preference of, implies a hierarchy of challenges that we haven't really even discussed or agreed upon. So I prefer the Indonesian formulation of including rather than notably. Thank you. Or we can even go for, just saying the challenges as stated in, we can cite the document that, just for your reference, all of this text comes from the Resolution 78/2, paragraph 2A to D, but there are, A, B, C. So that, one other way is to just, cite the report rather than the whole laundry list. But we prefer just otherwise including.
Thank you. Any other thoughts? Russian Federation?
As a quick fix, Mr. Chair, that might be your suggestion, might fly inter alia, if notably is too strong. So then, inter alia. And the text would read, Committee on Trade, Investment, Enterprise and Business Innovation notes challenges in promoting enterprise and business innovation for inclusive and sustainable development, inter alia, development, transfer, adaptation, and application of technologies, and notes the progress made by the Secretariat, and then text continues up to the end. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, the United Kingdom.
Thank you, Chair. We think that the Russian formulation there with the change to inter alia is acceptable and just like the way it reads naturally. And so we'd be happy to concede that one rather than our original formulation.
Thank you for that flexibility. Any other comments? Let's try to clean it up then. So let's take out progress and to start with. So challenges in promoting, etc. I haven't heard any objection to inter alia so far, so let's try to keep that. Delete notably and including on. Good, and then we can take out Indonesia and the rest. And up to UK, Russia. We can delete that part. Good. And we missed the and notes probably, right? There was an and notes. Okay. So then we have and notes the progress made by the Secretariat. Any views, United Kingdom?
Thank you, Chair. That looks good to us.
So let's try to clean up that bit as well by the Secretariat. Good. Looks like we're almost there. The US?
Sorry, just to clarify, I see you have us down as reserved, so thank you. That's just, I wanted to clarify that, but I also think you need a "the" between inter alia and development. Thank you.
Inter alia, comma, the development, etc., if we want to be more precise or grammatically correct. Thank you. Are we good to go? Good. Thank you very much. Appreciated. So, with that, do we need to keep this US-Japan reserve? Okay, circle back. Let's say circle back, not or get back, not reserve. Yes, sounds more pleasant. Great. So we shall, yes, please, the US.
So I just wanted to point out, we're saying the business innovation for inclusive and sustainable development twice.
That's
That's what we want to say.
That's the sad part of multilateral negotiations.
Yeah.
Because in one context we are talking about the challenges, the other one we are talking about the progress. It doesn't sound elegant, you're right, but since we wanted to differentiate between the challenges and the progress, probably this is the best fix we can think of.
I mean, I'm happy to take it back and have reserved anyway. So just wanted to flag that that wasn't a mistake. So
Sure.
It sounds like it was not. Thank you.
Great. There will be some commas, etc., like for and requests, but the editorial team would fix that, and we'll try to make it look a bit more elegant while we read the text, probably. Anything further? If no, then let's hear some statements and presentation.
I think this concludes this agenda.
Yes. So we are done with agenda item 5. We shall move to agenda item 6, fostering cooperation to leverage innovation and technology for sustainable development. The document pertaining to this agenda item is ESCAP/CTI EBI 2/7. Do we have Ms. Preeti Soni?
Yes.
So to introduce the agenda item, I would like to invite Ms. Preeti Soni, head of the Asian and Pacific Center for Transfer of Technology, or APCTT of ESCAP, to introduce the document. Ms. Soni, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair, Excellencies, delegates. It's my pleasure to introduce the document, Fostering Cooperation to Leverage Innovation and Technology for Sustainable Development. The document briefly discusses the role of cross-border cooperation in leveraging innovation and technology in the Asia-Pacific region and it provides an overview of the work of the Secretariat through the Regional Institute, APCTT, Asian and Pacific Center for Transfer of Technology in this regard over the last 2 years. Innovation and technology are vital for sustainable development. According to a study, 70% of the 169 targets under the Sustainable Development Goals can be enabled by existing Fourth Industrial Revolution technology and their applications. The progress on SDGs in Asia Pacific is significant, but it is uneven and slow. It is estimated that only 16 of the 117 measurable targets, that is only 14%, are on track to be achieved by 2030. Innovative and emerging technologies can play an important role in accelerating progress towards the SDGs. The technology market is fast expanding, and so is the technology gap. Analysis shows that market share of 17 green and frontier technologies, such as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, green hydrogen, etc., are already representing a large trillion-dollar market, and this is expected to grow multifold by the year 2030. The Asia-Pacific region and some of its countries comprises the most innovative countries in the world. The region is becoming a hub of technological innovations. Intersecting factors, however, including institutional, technical, structural, and financial, impact the development and absorption of innovative and emerging technologies. And there is a need to enhance innovative ecosystems across all economies. Regional cooperation is critical for scaling up actions to leverage innovation and promote innovation, adoption, and transfer of technologies. Some of the key drivers include enabling policy frameworks, capacity building, institutional linkages, collaborative research and development, and private and public partnerships. Recognizing the importance of regional cooperation in leveraging innovation and technology for sustainable development, the Asian and Pacific Center for Transfer of Technology has been engaged in activities to support member states to strengthen capacities and foster technology cooperation and transfer through capacity building, technical inputs, knowledge management, and technology facilitation. The Center in 2023 commenced the implementation of its strategic plan for 5 years with a vision of enhanced regional cooperation for innovation, adoption, diffusion, and transfer of innovative and emerging technologies in the region. The main outcomes and strategies include technology innovation and scale-up, enabling policies and linkages, enhancing cross-border cooperation, and networking for technology transfer. Over the last 2 years, the Center has delivered and actively contributed to 42 demand-driven capacity building and regional cooperation activities in collaboration with several of our partner institutions. These activities have been across multiple themes and had particular focus on gender considerations and youth engagement. Under our knowledge management pillar, the knowledge products include the Center's quarterly periodical, each centered around a particular theme, its analytical reports, and newsletters. The Center also brought out a joint research paper with Trade, Investment, and Innovation Division of ESCAP on technology transfer, regulatory, and intellectual property-related issues to improve equitable access to essential head products and technologies. For technology facilitation and fostering innovation, some of the new initiatives that have been introduced by the Center include 1. Community of Practice on Climate Technologies. The Community of Practice was launched at the 80th ESCAP session as a pilot phase to foster networking and cross-border collaboration between stakeholders. Secondly, a fellowship opportunities have been created on technology transfer as part of the ESCAP Visiting Fellows Program. And thirdly, a process is underway to develop a digital platform on technology transfer for Asia and Pacific in collaboration with the Russian Federation and other governing council members. These activities have contributed to enhanced knowledge and awareness among more than 2,000 policymakers and participants directly and many more indirectly on different innovative technologies such as green hydrogen, energy storage, digital infrastructure. The stakeholders have benefited from focused capacity building workshops on innovative models of technology development and transfer, including the Living Lab approach for social problem solving and the Tandio model for circular economy. The center has made available some of its very useful manuals and technical publications. Notable ones are the Compendium on Air Pollution Control Technologies, which provides a menu of options for looking at air pollution control, and secondly, a guidebook for policymakers and other stakeholders on intellectual policy management. The center has created platforms to facilitate technology transfer through its expert group meetings, community of practice, and digital platform that is envisaged to be launched later this year. It has established linkages through sharing of experiences and learnings. Notable ones was on building the capacities of city officials in 3 countries on air pollution control under a multi-country project, and also looking at technology exhibitions for young innovators to interact and showcase their technologies for scale-up in the region. And lastly, the center has also contributed towards operational learnings and recommendations that have been shared through its regional workshops and other knowledge products. The deliberations in the capacity building activities and events have resulted in compilation of observations and recommendations for fostering cooperation to leverage innovation and technology for sustainable development. The recommendations include overall plus some thematic specific considerations, some of which are already listed in the document, and these center around collaborations, partnerships, data-driven innovations, enabling policies and frameworks, data incentives and privacy, ecosystems and entrepreneurship, and supporting capacity building. In a nutshell, these are some of the activities of the center on leveraging technology and innovation for sustainable development. Against this background, the committee may share examples of country experiences and good practices and provides us guidance on support in the form of capacity building, analytical work, and regional cooperation for greater technology cooperation in the region. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Soni. That's appreciated. I know it's not in the script, but since we have Ms. Soni's presence here, would any delegation like to ask any question? If that is not the case, we will move to the next presentation. There is someone connected online, I believe, and that should be Mr. Sanz. Right. Sorry. Yes, so we have Mr. Angel Gonzalez Sanz, Head Technology, Innovation and Knowledge Development Branch, Division on Technology and Logistics, UNCTAD, who is expected to deliver his remarks remotely. So over to you, Mr. Sanz, for your remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to address this distinguished committee to discuss the importance of international cooperation to foster innovation and technology for sustainable development. I will focus my intervention on artificial intelligence and other frontier technologies, which offer new opportunities to increase productivity, create value, and accelerate progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals. UNCTAD's Technology and Innovation Report 2025, that was released just last month, projects the artificial intelligence market to grow fast in the next few years, up to $4.8 trillion in 2033. Thus, in a decade, the artificial intelligence market could experience a 25-fold increase, becoming about 4 times larger than the market for smartphones. However, the benefits of AI are not shared equally, and there is a wide artificial intelligence divide between developed and developing countries, as well as between large and small firms, and this divide is deeply connected to other technological divides. For example, only 100 companies account for about 40% of the world business research and development, and none of these come from developing countries other than China. Also, advanced digital infrastructure is rather concentrated, with the United States having around 1/3 of the top 500 supercomputers in the world. China and the US together are responsible for about 2/3 of all artificial intelligence patents worldwide. Deeply uneven access to the benefits of AI can exacerbate inequalities instead of accelerating progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals. UNCTAD's report looks at the 3 main drivers of the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence in the last few years. These are 1, infrastructure, 2, data, and 3, skills. Several ESCAP countries are performing very well along these drivers. For example, Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand have been greatly strengthening their digital infrastructure, supporting telecommunication services, and attracting significant investments in digital infrastructure for major technology companies. China also has invested to enhance connectivity in rural and underserved areas and has also significantly cut fixed broadband prices, which are now well below the world average, to make access to the internet and data transfer more affordable. Singapore and Hong Kong stand out for the high incidence of developers, and large Asian countries, despite a lower incidence part to the work population, can leverage a significant mass of artificial intelligence developers. However, without inclusive policies and cooperation, gains may remain concentrating, leaving many workers and countries behind. Ensuring that technological progress aligns with Sustainable Development Goals requires deliberate action. International collaboration across infrastructure, data, and skills necessary for the digital transition is essential. Such collaboration is critical to prevent fragmentation, to avoid duplication of efforts, to foster interoperability and knowledge transfer, and to contribute to fair sharing of the benefits of artificial intelligence. Building affordable and accessible artificial intelligence infrastructure could be prohibitive for many countries. This is why UNCTAD's report points to the model of CERN, the intergovernmental organization that operates the world's largest particle physics laboratory, as a possible model for shared artificial intelligence infrastructure. A CERN model for AI can also promote the principles of international cooperation, open science, open access, and the pooling of resources and expertise worldwide. In 2024, UN member states adopted the Pact for the Future and the Global Digital Compact, outlining global commitments for inclusive AI governance. This includes a commitment to develop safe and secure open source software, open data, open AI models, and open standards, which are referred to as digital public goods. In this respect, the G20's Open Innovation Strategy outlines principles, approaches, and tools for inclusive international collaboration on SDI that can guide the creation of regional and global repositories to support wider artificial intelligence diffusion across communities. Data powers AI, and it is difficult to imagine a global artificial intelligence governance framework without data governance. The United Nations Commission on Science and Technology for Development, which is serviced by UNCTAD, has set up a multi-stakeholder group to lead an inclusive global dialogue to set principles of data governance and to make proposals to support interoperability across systems at different levels while guaranteeing safe and secure data flows. I invite the members of this committee to follow and participate in the work of this important multi-stakeholder working group. The Asia-Pacific Research and Training Network on Trade, or the Integration and Cooperation Agenda on Science and Technology and Innovation across ASEAN member states, are among good examples of regional innovation hubs and expert networks that can serve also as examples for other regions. South-South cooperation in science and technology can further strengthen the capacity of developing countries to address common AI challenges. In conclusion, the main message of our report is that technology alone will not solve inequality, but with cooperation and inclusive strategies, it can support shared prosperity, create public goods, and place humanity at the heart of technology development. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Sanz. Can I please ask you to again mention the multi-stakeholder working group that you mentioned? Which one did you refer to, please?
The multi-stakeholder working group on data governance at all levels. It's meeting under the auspices of the UN Commission on Science and Technology for Development. It held its first meeting on the beginning of May and will hold its next meeting on 3 and 4 July. It's open to observers from non-member or countries or states that are not member of the working group, and also from other organizations with a status with ECOSOC. And it holds its meetings in a hybrid format, so people can register and follow the discussions of the working group online. The details are available in the website of the UN Trade and Development Conference.
Thank you. And the in-person meetings, like the one in July, would be in Geneva or New York?
Well, all the meetings of the working group take place in Geneva.
Right. Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Sanz? If that is not the case, we thank you for your informative remarks. So, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, we shall now proceed to country statements for agenda item 6. Once again, I would like to urge all speakers to adhere to the time limit of 3 minutes to ensure that we can hear from all participating. Great. So the first country on our list is China.
谢谢主席。科技创新是促进可持续发展、应对全球性挑战的关键要素，在推动落实2030年可持续发展议程中发挥着重要作用。中国政府高度重视科技创新对经济社会高质量发展的支撑领引作用。近年来，深入实施创新驱动发展战略，积极探索以科技为核心的可持续发展问题系统解决方案，持续推进科技创新全面融入经济社会、文化、生态文明等可持续发展领域。中国始终坚持科技开放合作造福人类，积极推动国际科技交流合作，为落实2030年议程贡献中国智慧和中国力量。截至2025年3月，中国政府已与161个国家和地区建立科技合作关系，签署118个政府间科技合作协定，牵头发起国际科技合作倡议、开放科学国际合作倡议，同时鼓励科研人员、企业、科研机构、大学拓展民间科技合作渠道，加强与国外对接合作。我们深入实施“一带一路”科技创新行动计划，支持1万余名共建国家青年科技人才来华短期交流，建设70余家“一带一路”联合实验室，面向阿拉伯国家、东盟、非洲、拉美等地区 建设多个国际技术转移中心，有力推动可持续发展技术转移扩散。去年，中方还会同有关国家在联大发起通过了关于加强人工智能能力建设国际合作的决议，并宣布人工智能能力建设普惠计划，旨在推动国际社会共同把握数字化、智能化发展大势，助力各国共享智能红利，确保不让任何一国掉队。面向未来，中方愿同亚太各国一道，继续以科技创新为引领，坚持科技向善、公平普惠，积极分享可持续发展领域的科技方案和经验，深化在数字、人工智能等新兴领域的科技开放合作，大力发展新质生产力，让各方共享科技进步红利，共享可持续发展成果。谢谢主席。
Thank you very much, China. Is there any other country or international organization that may wish to speak under this agenda item? Indonesia?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Distinguished ESCAP members, Indonesia remains fully committed in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, including through harnessing the potential of digital technology. Indonesia underscored the importance of an inclusive, empowering, and sustainable digital transformation. This vision for us is reflected in our National Digital Transformation Roadmap, which focuses in 4 key areas, which is the digital infrastructures, digital government, digital economy, as well as digital society. To support this digital transformation, Indonesia believes that stronger regional and global cooperation is a key. Collaboration and cooperation are required in addressing shared challenges and ensuring that all countries can benefit from the innovation and technology across the Asia Pacific. As technological investments, particularly in artificial intelligence, accelerate, we must ensure this innovation benefit all humanity equitably. We emphasize the critical importance of technology transfer as well as capacity building, support from developed to developing countries in line with the principles of leaving no one behind. Indonesia called for a strengthened global solidarity to achieve a more peaceful, equitable, and sustainable future. Indonesia also recognized the need to enhance regulatory capacity to support technology innovation. We would like to highlight that regulation around artificial intelligence, AI, remain underdeveloped in many countries, including in Indonesia itself. However, for Indonesia to further contribute in the global and regional governance for these important issues, Indonesia has and always committed to engage in international and regional negotiation and dialogue for digital economy as well as emerging technologies. Looking ahead, Indonesia recognizes that there are several emerging frontiers, including space science, as well as its application as a promising new avenue for international cooperation. We believe that this cutting-edge field presents transformative opportunities to accelerate sustainable development. And Indonesia is always stand ready to work with ESCAP members to explore these innovative domains while ensuring that their benefits adhere to the principle of leaving no one behind. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Indonesia. Any other request for the floor under this agenda item? That does not seem to be the case. So, from the Secretariat or APCTT, would you like to make any concluding observations on the statements that have been made?
Thank you, Excellencies, delegates, for the statements and also the increased focus and emphasis on technology transfer, South-South cooperation, and also on artificial intelligence and other frontier technologies. I would also just like to mention that APCTT is also looking at bringing together innovators from different countries, along with some of our member countries, to look at innovations in AI as a focused area of intervention over the next few months. And we will be sending information to the committee members as well. If anybody is interested, can be part of it as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's appreciated. So this brings us to the end of agenda item 6. Before we move on to the next agenda item, that is agenda item 7, I would like to revert to the draft decision under agenda item 2. I understand delegations had worked out the text, but we were supposed to hear back from a couple of delegations from their capitals. So let's try to have the draft decision point up on the screen, just to jog our memory. Meanwhile, it would be appreciated if colleagues that were supposed to circle back could share any further feedback with us. Yes, the US, please.
Thank you, Chair. Unfortunately, I do not have additional information to share this afternoon, despite my entreaties to Capitol overnight. We'll do my best overnight again, obviously, because tomorrow's the last day. So to have a more fulsome answer in the morning.
Good. So we'll look forward to that fulsome answer. Any other delegation? Was there any other capital that we were waiting for? The name Japan has been whispered to my ears.
Well, I did call my capital this morning, and they said, well, the focal point was had a very positive outlook on the language, but it's still going through the ranks of review. And I was hoping to have that response now, but I did get a positive inclination, so I think we would be. I'm hopeful that Friday would be all right.
Good. Good to hear that we are almost there as far as Tokyo is concerned. So the distinguished delegate of the US, we would like to hear back from you on this decision as well as the decision under agenda item 5 before we reconvene tomorrow afternoon, please. Thank you. Great. So we shall now move to agenda item 7. Other matters? It is my pleasure, I believe, to report on behalf of the Bureau on the status of credentials of representatives of members of the second session of the Committee on Trade, Investment, Enterprise and Business Innovation in accordance with Rule 12 of the Rules of Procedure of the Commission. The Bureau of the second session of the Committee on Trade, Investment, Enterprise and Business Innovation examined the credentials of representatives of 34 member states submitted in accordance with Rule 11 of the Rules of Procedure of the Commission and found them to be in order. The Bureau decided to defer any action on the credentials pertaining to the representatives of Myanmar at the second session of the Committee on Trade, Investment, Enterprise and Business Innovation, pending a decision by the General Assembly on the representation of Myanmar and in line with General Assembly Resolution 396-5 of 14 December 1950, acknowledging the report of the Credentials Committee of the General Assembly at its 79th session. May I take it that it is the wish of this committee to take note of the report of the Bureau? I see no objections. It is so decided. Are there any other matters which any members would like to bring to the attention of this committee? That does not seem to be the case. So, that brings us to the end of the proceedings for today. I would now call on the Secretariat to make an announcement.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, the Secretariat wishes to remind each participant to please take a few minutes to complete the online survey that was uploaded on the committee webpage. You'll see a signage at the entrance of this conference room providing the link to the survey and the QR code. Your feedback will help us improve the quality of services and support to the delegations. Thanks for taking the time to complete the survey.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. So we will now adjourn this meeting. The proceedings will resume tomorrow at 14 hours for agenda item 8, that is adoption of the report. The report will be available on the website of the committee session starting 12 noon Bangkok time tomorrow, Friday, 30th of May, 2025. The report will contain decisions to be brought to the attention. I understand there are 3 decisions. Decisions to be brought to the attention of the Commission and the organizational matters. The account of proceedings will be prepared after the committee and circulated by the Secretariat to all member states for factual corrections within 1 week of the conclusion of the committee. Any questions in this regard? I see none. So the meeting is adjourned. Have a great evening.